Well, if you want to have a profitable trading day or tune into the right show, this is Traders 20.
Well, let's quickly take a look at the markets right now. The benchmarks are down by about 0.6%. However, the Midcap index currently down by about 0.4% at this point of time. Let's also take a look at some of the gainers and losers. Deccan Chronicle emerging as one of the gainers at this point of time, up by about more than 4%. MTNL as well, up by about 2.5%. Motherson Sumi gaining 2% Apollo Hospitals also up by about 2%. However, Union Bank of India, that one is also gaining at this moment, up by about more than 1.5%. On the losing side, there's the CESC down by about close to 13%. Lanco Infra as well down by about close to 4%. Anantraj, Suzlon both down by close to 3%. As well as Wokhart, that one too is down by about 2.5%.
Okay, so fairly listless for the broader markets as well. Let's get in Sandeep Wagle and Prakash Gaba to find out the trading strategies that they're recommending. It's 2 buys and 1 sell from you, Sandeep, today.
Yes, Aman, absolutely. The Nifty is listless, and that is the reason you are not seeing stocks performing. But I still believe that the overall trend is up. I have a buy in Union Bank. The banking space is showing me some strength. A stop loss of 207, target of 221. A breakout of swing high in the hourly charts. I have a buy in IDFC, which has been an outperformer over the last 2 days. A stop loss of 155 and a target of 164. Price and volumes breakout in hourly charts again. And I have a sell in Titan, which is broken down. It's made a head and shoulder pattern in the hourly charts. A stop loss of 275 and a target of 265.
All right, so that's a call coming in from Sandeep. Buy call on Union Bank as well as IDFC, but a sell call on Titan. What about you, Mr. Gaba? Which stocks are you betting on?
I like to go for 2 longs and 1 short. The first long perhaps would be ACC. Looks like the down move is getting over, it's trading near the supports. The only thing is it should go up. I would have a stop below 1400 and expect it to climb to levels close to 1440. The second stock is a short, is the Jai Prakash Associates. It's got exhausted in the upper regions of around 95-96 zones. I would have a stop above 95 and expect it to slide down to levels closer to 90. That would be the first target, but we can see even slightly lower than that. And the third would be again a long, would be Ravens. Ravens look like a base formation closer to levels around 370-72 zones. I would have a stop below 376. Expect it to climb to levels closer to around 391 to 392 in the days to come. Maybe a slow mover, but looks like Raymond should go up in the next few days.
Okay, 2 buys and 1 solitary sell from Prakash Gaba as well. Another quick break right here on Traders 20, but on the other side, we'll have our very own Rajat Bose and Deepak Mahoney joining in on the show.
Welcome back. You're watching Traders 20 on ET Now.
Well, let's get in a sense as to what's happening for the broader end of the market. You've got the small cap index, which currently is off by just about 0.3%. And you'd have to say trading close to the lowest point of the day. Remember, it's a very weak breadth that we're working with. Some of the gainers then, which are holding out, Sundaram Clayton locked in upper circuit as we speak at 268. You've also got an Ankur Drugs, which is holding up fairly smartly in today's session by just about 1.5%. Kingfisher Airlines finally some respite. So for the second day on a trot, is higher by close to 5%. You've got Glodine Technoserve. In fact, that has been a big loser. It's shaved off close to 9% over the last 5 days. Finally, some buying activity kicking in. And Surya Pharmaceuticals has constantly been on the gaining list. Today is no exception. And that is where the counter is currently placed at. On the downside, though, obviously the CESC news is not auguring well. First Source is off by 10% as we speak. You've also got an EIH Associated Hotels, which is down in the red by just about 7%. Z News not holding up very smartly in today's session, so that counter is currently quoting at 13.9. Peninsula Land, finally all of that buying activity is seeing some profit booking, off by 5% today, and Subex too on the losers list.
Well, with that, let's bring on board Rajat Bose as well as Deepak Mohoni with their top bets. Hi there, Rajat. First, we'll ask you about your top ideas for today and your rationale behind choosing them.
Yeah, I have not hedged my bets. I've gone, all the three stocks that I've chosen, I have actually suggested long positions in them. You asked for the rationale. The rationale is that if you notice over the last 15 days or so, we are trading within a narrow band of 57.20 and 56.33 was the low once posted, and normally I would take it as a range between say 56.50 and 57.20. Had I given this call right at the beginning when the market opened, maybe I would have chosen one or two short calls there. But with the Nifty having fallen to 5668, that means we are already in the bottom third of the range if we accept that 5650 to about 5720 is the range. Given that, and given the fact that it is not yet showing any directional cues, although we might tend to preempt any kind of a downswing, but I have seen that over the last 15 days, if you have done so, you haven't made much money. So at the lower end of the range, with some proper stop losses, you can actually go long. And the first counter that I have chosen is showing enough of momentum, barring the last few minutes when it was showing some bit of weakness, that is LIC Housing Finance. I would say that unless it closes below 244, it continues to be a buy, and my targets are 254, 257 and 260. Once it trades above 250, it would be pretty strong. IDFC, it's not just a price gainer, it is also a price volume gainer, and if you analyze yesterday's session, it was price, volume and open interest gainer. So IDFC is clearly showing bullish traction. So in that sense, if you put a stop loss below 155.50, probably if you hold the trade till next week, I think you are likely to see IDFC climbing up to 166. In between 161 and 163 could be acting as pauses. And the third trade is actually a suggestion to buy Nifty futures. When we are in a range bound situation, although it is difficult, it is counterintuitive, but sometimes it pays to actually do buy weakness, sell strength. So I would suggest buying Nifty here, knowing fully well that you might get stopped out, but it's worth your while to actually see such minimal risk in buying Nifty, attempting it to buy here, and say we can see the November Nifty going up to something like 5730 to about 5744, and I would say put a stop below 5665, not the spot level but the November futures level. Though these are the three long trades that I have to offer, and I have given you ample rationale as to why in a weak market you can still go long.
You certainly have. Thanks very much for that, Rajat. Buying calls coming in across the board, including the Nifty futures. Deepak, you've got one buy and two sell calls coming in. You clearly have the street giving M&M a big thumbs up. What are the levels that you would watch out for?
Well, M&M is a buy with a stop loss of 856 and a target of 905. It's already close to an all-time high at today's price. So, second reason for picking M&M in particular is it doesn't correlate very much with the index. So, you do have the stock, sort of climbing on many days when the index goes down. It's not really affected by what happens to the market. So, it's a little safer to go long in this than many other stocks, which might go down if the Nifty were to fall even further. So that's Mahindra. The short sales, this one has got Kotak Mahindra as the first short sale. A day trade, both these short sales are day trades to be squared off at the end of the day. Kotak Mahindra Bank is a short sale with a stop loss of 619 and a target of 595. It started correcting pretty sharply in the last week or so, and it's already down to a 5-week low, so this is in a pretty strong downtrend. And the second short sale, again a day trade, is in Reliance Industries. Stop loss of 806, target of 776. Same rationale as Kotak Bank. It's in fact down to a 6-week low, so that's even further down than Kotak Bank has gone in terms of number of days.
Alright, so buy call on Mahindra, but sell call coming in on Kotak Mahindra Bank as well as Reliance. Well, those are some of the 20 ideas that you need to be looking out for, but would like to give a disclaimer once again that before taking any positions in any of these stocks, do consult your financial advisor. Well, with that, let's thank all our guests for joining us, taking out the time and sharing those ideas with us. Deepak, Ashwini, C.K. Narayan, Sandeep Wagle, as well as Prakash Baba, as well as Rajat Bose. Thanks very much for taking out the time and sharing those ideas with us.
Quick break right here on the show. BNS and the Stock Game coming up next. Stay tuned.